China is a city of charm, with a combination of great technological development and ancient peculiar cultures, language, food, and history. Living in a city as such makes a diversified and delightful experience. As citizens of Guangzhou, we would like to show you the unique beauty and attraction she possesses, one scene at a time, and thus you might like to visit her someday. Shamian is an island by the Pearl River in western Guangzhou. A special period of history made Shamian an irreplaceable landmark of Guangzhou. It shows the early development and influence of Western culture. On the island, there are buildings of more than 150 types of European architectural styles, consisting of 42 eminent architectures of New Baroque style, Pseudo-Gothic style, Veranda style, and New Classical style. Walking from the periphery of the island, we can see a marked building with the cross on the top. It is the Christ Church Shamian. Christ Church Shamian was built in 1864 by English Church Missionary Society only for overseas foreigners. It is located in Shamian Street 5. It was led by British pastors and the worship were in English too. After World War II, Chinese government retrieved the concession and Christ Church Shamian was occupied by Chinese government office since 1949. But later, after 1991, religious activities were started there when the government returned it to the Provincial Christianity Committee. It is rare to see well-protected Christian architecture older than 100 years in Guangzhou. The church is now open as a scenic spot, and Christians of the church always sit inside the church and spread the gospel to the tourists. Except for the main chapel, there's also a side room for fellowship and devotions between Christians. Just beside the Christ Church of Shamian stood a grand white European building. It is China Customs Building, demonstrating the special statues of Chinese important authors. Continue walking along the periphery, we arrive at the White Swan Hotel, which was built in 1983, and it is the first Chinese foreign cooperation hotel in China. In 1985, it was the first in China to become a member of World's Best Hotel Committee. And in 1990, it became one of Chinese first 3 5-star hotels. Guangzhou White Swan Hotel was also known as the cultural relic and scenic spot by the public in 2010. Queen Elizabeth II of England and President Nixon and Bush of the United States had once stayed in the hotel. In the middle of the hotel, There are a man-made waterfall, river, and bridge. A restaurant and stores of expensive jewels, vessels, antiques, etc. take the place of the first floor. There are many Chinese traditional exhibits shown in the hotel, including yobas, cabinets, ivory carving, and butterfly wings artistries. The ivory carving is so enormous and detailed that it worth more than 6 million RMB. And these charming pictures are artistry made only by colorful wings of butterflies. The White Swan Hotel exists as a symbol of the prosperity of Guangzhou and of China. Coming out from the hotel, we now come to the middle street of Shamian, or Shamian Main Street. On the two sides of the street sat buildings with long histories. The buildings are in many varied styles and were once banks, firms, and consulates. And this one, number 54 of Shamian Main Street, with 4 floors, was the Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation Limited, or HSBC. It was built in pseudo-classical architecture style. This white grand building, number 56 of Shamian Main Street, was the old American consulate in Guangzhou. But now, the American consulate moved to Tianhe district, and this building was occupied by provincial government as an office. Building number 61 of Shamian Main Street was once a British firm named Dodwell, and now it was developed into an exhibition place of the history of Shamian. Building number 68 of Shamian Main Street with 3 floors was the old consulate of Soviet Union in Guangzhou. The building was built with red blocks in British Victorian style, so it is also called the West Red Building. The East Red Building was the clubhouse for staffs of the customs. And this was once a French missionary shed. Shamian Main Street is the center of Shamian Island, and most of the important buildings were along the sides of the street. The street is also decorated beautifully with flowers and seats for people to rest and relax. Citizens living near or in Shamian often come to Shamian Main Street, strolling, playing badminton, or exercising. Artists come here too, to sketch, photograph, or search of inspiration. Bronze sculptures with strong meaning stood throughout Shamian. One communicates the change in clothing of women from ancient China to modern China. Another tells interesting stories of past citizens. And many others show the diversities between Western and Chinese culture. Another place where people can relax and enjoy themselves is the park built along the bank of the Pearl River. The elderly, retired people of Guangzhou, with the love of music, grouped up the band. Every day, they were grouped here in the pavilion and the riverside park to practice their song and perform them to the tourists passing by. In the band, there are singers, violinists, accordionists, trumpeter, and many other kinds of instrument player, and most of the songs are in Cantonese. Their love for music never dies because of their age.